Hello, my fellow comedians. This is a divine comedian coming at you with some messages about the future of your comedy career. You might be thinking, what's going on? It's almost been a year, coming up in March, which is basically right around the corner since COVID-19 happened and basically pretty much halted the entertainment industry and very specifically the comedy worlds. So I figured I would do a quick read, um, hopefully to give you guys some hope about it. So I'm not going to use traditional tarot for this. I'm going to use my Oracle of Visions deck. So this is a new deck for me. So I'm going to use the book to get the messages to you as clear as possible. But I did use some traditional tarot in here. So I have three cards here for the overall energy that you're feeling. We have the Ten of Wands. After that, I drew the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And then there is the Queen of Cups. Okay, so let me just concentrate on this for a second. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll get to the tarot cards in a second. Let me just pull some cards for my fellow comics out there to give them some messages, because the overall energy that I'm getting here is that a lot of you are feeling burdened by this. A lot of you are feeling, burdens about life in general, but this is just specifically aimed at comedy. A lot of you, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, you kind of feel stuck, like things aren't moving. You're not catching any lucky breaks. And then the Queen of Cups, which is a very positive card. The Queen of Cups is all about, I feel as if ultimately the advice here that the cards are trying to say is that, you need some emotional support here from somebody, maybe from a fellow comic, maybe from a friend. Maybe you need to do something to make yourself feel emotionally fulfilled and like kind of, getting your game back up in the comedy world. So let's see what messages I have for you. So the first card out, number 6. Okay. Number 17, I like that yin yang over there, that yin yang on his chest, which tells me that things are going to be moving into balance. And then number 37, we have these interesting characters here, so we'll check that out. All right. So let's make some room here so we can see everything that's going on. Tranquility and peace, which is, kind of funny that that comes out right underneath the first card, which is the Ten of Wands, which kind of definitely carries the energy of feeling overwhelmed and burdened and carrying a lot of things on your shoulder. Um, this is like a card of somebody who works very hard. So as this pertains to comedy, maybe you're a comic out there that's been working really, really hard towards your career. You've been going to endless open mics. But I feel like I like to read the past, the present, and the future. So in the past, maybe you were kind of feeling overburdened with trying to find something to do to stay within the comedy world. And you're feeling a little overburdened by that. So, but I also feel like this is a person that's gathering up all their wands and they're kind of, moving on and taking, a walk into whatever's next for them. So for this card from the Oracle deck, the message of this card is, I go to nature to be soothed and healed and to have my senses put together, which is definitely goes in tides with this kind of like walking away type of energy. So that could have definitely signified, quarantine. We have experienced a difficult period, but the trial is over. Challenging times and their multitude of forms, worries over financial or health issues, Troubled relationships or concern for others close to us have left us physically weakened or spiritually tested. Now, either by acceptance or conclusion, our troubles are past. Now we need the comforting embrace of rest. It's time to recuperate and regain our strength. Okay, so you can see how these two cards definitely relate to each other. Okay, so a rest is needed here. So if you've been feeling overburdened by when are the comedy clubs going to open up again? Is there still going to be a spot for me on the stage? Yes, it's coming because it just said that this is in the past. All right. Next card, we have balance and equality. I know that sometimes when we're in the comedy rat race, a lot of us don't feel equal getting up on stage and having to perform, maybe not getting as much time as somebody else, or maybe not getting as many spots as other people do, or just feeling as if, other people get opportunities where you don't. So I kind of feel like maybe that's that. But there's definitely balance that needs to be here with the Wheel of Fortune. Like your luck, you're feeling like your luck is kind of like upside down here. So this is a great card to talk about for that. If I'm losing balance in a pose, I stretch higher, and God reaches down to steady me. It works every time, and not just in yoga. Okay, but we're talking about comedy here. Okay, so I feel like there's only so much because we're kind of stuck here with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. We kind of feel like we have a lot of bad luck. So I kind of feel like um, you really can't go anywhere right now. There's only so much growth that you can get with the comedy clubs being closed, with everybody kind of afraid of going out because of COVID, going to shows, or maybe you're just not really into doing online shows, and there's just not really enough room for you to grow right now. But let's finish the rest of the message. Despite our differences, by changing our position, stance, or direction, we may find a common ground and jointly interact. This process is made easier when both sides participate in unison. Okay. So, for some of you that were in comedy, you may feel as if you need to gather up all your wands and move on to maybe a different path. Maybe you want to do acting, maybe you want to give up comedy altogether. And this card is definitely giving you confirmation on that. So, if that pertains to you, then that's the green light to go ahead and find your balance and equality and whatever next step you might want to take in life. All right, so let's see what we have underneath the Queen of Cups. This is a big one. Relationship interaction with others. Okay. When something seems to be missing in your life, it usually turns out to be someone. So remember I said before the Queen of Cups was about emotions and finding, that nurturing sense of security, feeling fulfilled with your emotions, basically, especially pertaining towards, comedy. So I think that some of you are lacking a nurturing, healing person of support in this, and either they're coming in for you or you need to go out and find them, because again, we have this, burden and all this going on here. Our life is defined by relationships, family, partners, friends, and foes. Each enters and passes through like a comet crossing through our sky. Some shine briefly, never to return again, and gradually fade from memory. Others settle and remain in our orbit. Okay, so I kind of feel as if this is more of like a closure, because we know that comedy has kind of been on the outs for a little bit here, and I kind of feel as if some people that we were close to in the past and we had a really good working relationship with have just maybe kind of sort of moved on, and maybe that has you feeling a little bit on edge or feeling sad or depressed because of that, because basically everybody's whole entire world crumbling down, and a lot of relationships, people may have lost friends in the business. I know a lot of people did, or support of family members, because we're not really seeing that support now because people don't really want to go out, or like I said, maybe just a lot of people that you were used to seeing, that you had these connections with prior to COVID at open mics, at shows and stuff like that, is kind of faded away now. So this is telling you, seek out emotional support, find new friends. And if that's just not possible right now, then go within and really focus on, finding your emotional balance here. Okay, so let's clear these cards. Actually, no, we'll leave them out. And Spirit, please give me 3 more cards for my fellow comedians. What do they need to know about their future? What's the outcome here, Spirit? Mm-hmm. I love that card. Another yin yang symbol. Synchronicity, another yin yang symbol. If I keep saying yin yang one more time, I'm sure my cat's going to come running out here, jump up on the table, and knock everything over. Okay, so underneath this card, number 6, we have 31. Secrecy and confidentiality. Boy, doesn't that definitely speak to all those secret shows that everybody has going out there, and not being able to advertise, and not being able to say where it is or how many people you had there or what's going on. Doesn't that kind of relate to this right here? So, but for this card, it says every relationship between 2 individuals or 2 groups will be categorized by the ratio of secrecy that is involved in it. Ooh. From the world of espionage to the privacy of our personal inner thought, we attempt to keep our own secrets, but seek those of others. Any sharing of such confidentialities requires a demonstration of trust, whether it's between nations, corporations, or intimate families and friends. In the context of human relationships, our curiosity or need to know may be for self-interest or desire to help others. To achieve either will require a key that in turn provides access to the information we seek. It may be facts and figures or simply a better understanding of the circumstances. Such information may be provided freely by those who control it, or withheld until we have proven ourselves. These keys may take the form of the most complex cryptic puzzle or password, but also a simple, "you can trust me" gesture offered to a troubled friend. Didn't we talk about this before with this card about finding a nurturing friend? All right, so I kind of feel like because there's such a shortage of opportunities in the comedy world right now, I feel like some of you may be questioning the loyalty of some of your friends. I also feel as if for a lot of us, we're kind of tightly bound by the secret as to whether or not we're doing comedy because we're afraid of the criticism. If we say, yes, I did a comedy show, or yes, I produced a show, we're really afraid to kind of put that out there right now, which doesn't exactly help us stay lucky within the Wheel of Fortune to be able to grow our audience or to get more opportunities or to put ourselves in the spotlight in hopes that we can continue to grow our career. Yeah, so I think that when this ends and we're able to move freely within our circles again without having to keep secrets as to who's doing what, I kind of feel like there's definitely going to be more trust restored, and people are going to start feeling a lot better, because I know personally it definitely stinks having to hide what you do. Okay, so for this card, number 41. Identity, self-analysis, knowing oneself. One's own self is well hidden from one's own self. Of all mines of treasure, one's own is the last to be dug up. Mm. This card represents an image of self-examination. The answer to who we are can have multiple answers, and those answers may change with time and circumstances. We wear our various masks to falsely reflect or truthfully portray the mirage versions of what we are or can be. So, as you can see from the picture on this, you have someone holding up a mask, and there's 3 different sides represented in the mirror. So, this is definitely reflective of the multiple faces that we have to wear when we're performers. We have the mask that we wear every day outside to show the world that we're happy or we're sad or whatever it is. And then we also have the mask of the performer, or basically any other mask that we choose to wear. Um, so I feel like for most of you that are questioning, am I still a comic? Am I still a performer? Like, what's going to happen here? I think you really need to look inside yourself to see who you really are. Who are you? What is your voice? What is your purpose? And remember why you started in comedy. Why are you here? Why did you start? Where's your love for it? Where's your passion for it? I think that when you find that again and you really start to immerse yourself into it, you don't feel so overburdened by the circumstances surrounding what's going on in the comedy world right now. I think that you're going to find a newfound spark for you. Okay, let's get this last message here. This is the future card. This is the final outcome right here. Harmony, balance, being in tune with others. I could definitely breathe a sigh of relief. I know my comics are definitely breathing a sigh of relief right now to be getting this card. That's why I said before, this card is just such a beautiful card. Look at the colors. It's just awesome. And she's got that yin yang, just like our friend over here. You don't get harmony when everybody sings the same note. Harmony is not achieved in isolation. It requires a resonance or participation with others linked by time, rhythm, or agreement. To be out of sync results in disharmony, discord, and conflict. Cool. Okay, so I feel like once everybody is able to get back to their normal business of going to open mics, booking shows, getting on shows, and this is the future. This is what's going to happen. So once everything gets lifted and the world basically, returns back to normal and harmony is restored, I feel like you're definitely going to be feeling a lot better. And whatever relationships kind of fell apart, or whatever other people may have, fallen off the bandwagon and maybe you're missing them, they're coming back. They're definitely coming back. Yeah, and this is definitely learning. This card definitely also carries the message of learning to work together. Okay, where I think we've kind of realized that the playing fields have been leveled here. So it doesn't really matter what your position is in comedy, whether you got booked on 50 shows a month or you got booked on 2 shows a month. I think that everybody's kind of had an opportunity to sample everybody's talent for those who dared to put it out there. So I kind of feel, well, I definitely feel that once we all learn to work together as a team, um, if anything were to ever happen in the comedy world again, there's just no stopping it. I feel like firmer bonds need to be, you know, formed here, and you kind of need to step out your comfort zone and step out of your circle to look, because I think you'd be surprised that if you talk to other people that have the same passions and desires that you do and don't look at them as being competition, and you're open with them and you share your secrets, and you share, you're not like deep secrets, but you share your secrets of how you learned comedy, or how you fix this joke, or how you take, certain presence on the stage, I think that you would find that you would actually create yourself, an even bigger circle of emotional support, because his right is right underneath, the emotions card in tarot. Okay. So that has been your reading. This definitely sounds to me like there is some positive news, but overall, I really think that if we come together with a collective plan and we're not so secretive about the things that we're doing, and we're open and we're sharing and we're collaborating with people, I feel that people are going to start to feel better. They're not going to feel so overburdened by just life in general, because comedy is an outlet. Comedy is an escape from our everyday world of where we live and we exist. We get to laugh at things. We get to make people laugh. We get to use our creativity to come up with things that just really just put a mirror to the world. And it's just like one big collective ha ha. And we need to get back at that. And we definitely need to get back on the stages. So blessed be for that 2021. Let's bring the laughs back to the public. Let's just keep doing whatever we can. Don't lose hope, because very shortly in the near future, harmony is going to be restored, and we will be back using our talents and spreading our rainbows out there as comics. Okay. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you very soon.